This Kentucky cycling video was brought to you by the Limestone Cycling Tour in Maysville, Kentucky. On September 11th, choose one of four routes: a century, metric century, 40 and 25 miles, and challenge your limits. Visit limstonecyclingtour.com. Hey guys, it's Nathan from the Kentucky Cycling YouTube channel. Welcome to the next Zoom interview in the Kentucky Cycling Connection series. I'm excited to introduce my guests today, who are Sharon Brown and Natalie Jones, both of whom serve on the board of directors for Bike Walk Kentucky and are serving as this year's co-directors of the 2021 Kentucky Cycling Challenge. Sharon and Natalie, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Nathan.
Why don't we just start out by having each of you tell us just a little bit about yourselves, including how you became involved in the work of Bike Walk Kentucky, and then became the co-directors of this year's Kentucky Cycling Challenge.
My name is Natalie Jones, and I'm so excited to be a part of Bike Walk Kentucky. I work for UK Cooperative Extension as the family health specialist, and it kind of merged perfectly in terms of trying to increase physical activity and increase health throughout the state of Kentucky, as well as sharing my own passion for cycling and walking and being active throughout the state. So being a part of Bike Walk Kentucky was a perfect merge for both my career as well as my personal interests. So it's been a pleasure to be a part of Bike Walk Kentucky as we're in our first year and moving forward with what we can bring to the state. And then being a part of the Kentucky Cycling Challenge, kind of a new thing for Bike Walk Kentucky as we just took it over. And so that has just been a learning curve for us, but excited to be a part of it. I've ridden in some of the rides previously, so I'm excited to promote it and help build the Kentucky Cycling Challenge for this year and future years.
And I'm Sharon Brown. I'm also a board member for Bike Walk Kentucky. In 2018, I helped co-chair the Bike Walk Kentucky Summit. And as a result, an outcome of that summit was to create a advocacy statewide nonprofit at Bike Walk Kentucky. So we're really proud and happy that that organization got launched a year ago. I have also, like Natalie, I've been a cyclist for a really long time. I've been part of the Century Challenge in the past. Last year in New Jersey. I have to say, we're excited to work with all the directors and getting to know them right now.
The bulk of this interview is to focus on some of the details surrounding the 2021 Kentucky Cycling Challenge. But since ownership of the challenge is being transitioned this year to Bike Walk Kentucky, I wanted to talk a little bit about Bike Walk Kentucky for those who may not be familiar and kind of what precipitated this change.
Bike Walk Kentucky is a statewide organization. We have 9 board members with representation across the state. Group has a wide range of different talents and abilities and where they contribute. We have tourism directors, we have marketing expertise, we have event managers, we have an engineer who works in particular projects around cycling and infrastructure. We have people who've been involved with legislative work in the past, educators. Natalie and I are both on the education side of it. So we think we have a really talented board to bring together to help with our strategic plan that was developed in 2019.
Awesome. So for those of you interested in learning more about Bike Walk Kentucky, I'll include a link to the interview that I did with Bike Walk Kentucky President Mike Sewell and Sharon this past spring in the YouTube description for this video. So the follow-up question here is, how did Bike Walk Kentucky come to assume ownership of the Kentucky Cycling Challenge?
Kind of a natural transition from the Bluegrass Cycling Club. One of our board members, Randy, had been a part of the Kentucky Cycling Challenge. So it was a nice way to merge Kentucky Cycling Challenge with Bike Walk Kentucky to promote tourism and biking throughout the state, as well as us being able to have an event to spread our mission and to get our name out there as well.
Awesome. So in turning our attention to this year's Kentucky Cycling Challenge, I thought we'd bring up the website to help facilitate our discussion, if that's okay.
I want to do a shout out to Stephen Butler, who was last year's director of the Kentucky Cycling Challenge. And the reason we took it over is because actually Stephen moved. He left Kentucky and moved to Tennessee. So many of you may know Stephen
Oh,
Butler.
wow. Did not know that he
And
moved.
so I'm doing a shout out to him because he's been incredibly helpful to us to get us organized and had dropped out all the files for us to take the leadership here. He is still managing our website. So as you show this is a thanks, Steve, for helping us with the website this year.
Good deal. So we got the website pulled up here. The URL is kycyclingchallenge.com. And I should note that registration for the challenge begins Monday, February 15th. This interview has actually been conducted on the 14th. So happy Valentine's Day, Sharon and Natalie. So the site will look a little different when those of you viewing this video come to actually look at it. But right now on the homepage, we get an overview of Bike Walk Kentucky. And you can see that there's a link here to the Bike Walk Kentucky website. So for more information, you want to go and check that out. And if we scroll down, you actually get, I think, some history about the challenge. And so you guys have talked a little bit about that. And we see logos for each of the 5 rides involved in the challenge. And these actually appear, looks to be in alphabetical order rather than chronological order. So I know you've got a whole page dedicated to each of these rides themselves, and we'll go through those details, but you can just tell us a little bit about how a ride becomes part of the challenge.
So actually, we are inheriting this from last year, as we mentioned. So the rides for this year are basically the rides from last year. They got rolled over because of COVID last year. There was a lot of adjustments that had to be made in the middle of the year. This year, we're having the same opportunities for the rides from last year. In general, though, the rides, once we sign them on, they have 2 years. And then after the 2 years, there's an opportunity for us to roll them out and basically to roll in another ride. There are other Century rides in Kentucky. Several of them are eager to get into this list because they do have good outcomes in terms of increasing participation in their events and that we're bringing more resources to their town as well. They're happy to be part of the Kentucky Cycling Challenge. Natalie and I have talked about this, but we're also hoping to move rides around so that we have rides all over the state. So as you can see this year, there's still a lot that are tied to the eastern side of the state. So we're hoping to pull in more Western Kentucky and even get a ride in Louisville in here. So again, we're looking to spread the beautiful scenery in Kentucky around in this event.
Great. So right down here, you make mention about sort of the heart of this challenge, and that is how to earn a jersey. So talk to me about each of the challenge levels and how someone goes about earning a jersey.
Yeah, so we have a few different opportunities for participants to earn a jersey. So you can see here on the website, it really breaks down what that means and what that looks like. And so the first way that you can do it is by participating in 4 out of the 5 rides and either doing a Century or a metric ride. And so if you're able to complete 4 out of 5 of the Century or metric rides, then you will earn that free jersey as well as a matching pair of shorts or bibs. And then we have some more opportunities as well. So if you are able to participate in 4 out of the 5 rides and complete 140 miles, then you also earn that jersey with the option of purchasing shorts or bibs. And then the last one is that we give the opportunity for people who have participated in 3 out of the 5 challenges with at least 100 miles, then they could purchase the jersey or shorts. So the only way to earn that free jersey and shorts is to do 4 out of the 5 Century or metric challenges. You earn that free jersey if you get at least 140 miles in 4 out of the 5 rides, and then you can purchase those shorts. And then you can purchase a jersey or shorts if you do 3 out of the 5 with at least 100 miles. So trying to spread it out for all different levels of cyclists to have that opportunity to purchase the jersey or to earn a free jersey as well, because registering for the Kentucky Cycling Challenge is free, even though each of the rides has their own registration fee.
For some of the people who are watching this and listening, it is slightly different this year in that we have 4 out of 5 Century rides instead of all 5 Century rides. And the reason for that, this is due to the pandemic and COVID. Horsey Hundred has limited their registration this year to 1,000 people, and it is already filled. So we wanted to include those people who were able to register early into the Century Challenge this year, so they can count that if they're registered, but also not penalize anybody who was not able to register for the Horsey 100 this year. So that's why it's 4 out of 5. There may be a lot of questions around that change, but it is due to COVID. It is possible that the Horsey will add more riders depending on how things look in April. We're not counting on that. But, so this is how we set up how to earn a jersey this year. So we appreciate everyone being flexible with us and supporting the rides where everyone's trying to be safe again this year. And we want all the riders to be safe too.
Sure. And just to provide some perspective for people who may be new to this, the Horsey 100 in the past has had, prior to COVID, upwards of 2,500 plus riders. So I think that's an understandable adjustment that the Horsey's made, and great, I think, adjustment that you guys are making in light of that COVID adjustment. And I think all of us are really eager to return to the world of organized rides and getting out there and enjoying each other's company. So this is all something for us to look forward to about 2021. So I think that's great. And so I noticed it's saying this year's jersey design is coming soon. Are we talking about one jersey or multiple jerseys? And what's the best way for someone to kind of follow updates around the jersey design?
We're glad you asked that, Nathan. The jersey's ready. It has been designed by Dylan Smith, who is on the staff at Gresham Smith. And we are just waiting for the PDF to actually post it on the website. So I think either tonight or certainly we're hoping tomorrow that'll be up on the website and on social media. So we're super excited about the jersey. Right now it's one jersey, so there will have some different printing in terms if you did the metric century or the century. But yeah, we're excited to show it to everybody.
Great. Awesome. As far as registering for the challenge itself, so I know the site will look a little different. So if somebody comes out here after the 15th, be a link, I guess, to sign up?
Yeah.
And is there a limit to how many folks can sign up?
Yes, we're the first 600 that register. Again, as Natalie said, it's free to register. So if you are motivated, we hope you will be, just go ahead and register, and it'll be up tomorrow. Great. So make sure you do that because it's first come, first serve. And this has been very popular in the past and a lot of times does fill up. So I encourage folks to get out there and take advantage of that. So I know sponsorship is actually a big part of what you do with this. So I wanted to give you all an opportunity to kind of walk us through the sponsorship page and talk about your sponsors. Yeah, we're really thankful for the sponsors. Every ride that participates in the Century Challenge is responsible to bring in $3,000 worth of sponsorship, and that pays for the jerseys and the bibs. So a really important shout out to all the race directors who do all the work in identifying and securing sponsorships to support the Kentucky Cycling Challenge, and also all of our generous sponsors who make this possible for everybody and for this whole event to run. So Fazoli's is back for a second year. They were a significant $2,500 sponsor last year, and because of COVID, we've kept them on. We felt like we wanted to be sure that they got the recognition from this event, and we, again, an extra shout out to them for their leadership in this. So all the other, you can scroll down a little bit, I think. Again, all of these are mixed. You can see there's tourism office, healthcare, the cycling clubs, all these different organizations that pitch in to help sponsor. Great. Well, on behalf of cyclists throughout the state, I'll say thank you to these sponsors for helping make this, this challenge a reality. I know it's a big boon for not just bringing people from around the state, but also from out of state to Kentucky to get her out in the state and appreciate many of the beautiful places to ride, which is near and dear to my heart. Let's get into the meat of this and talk about the rides. Our first one kicking it off is the Redbud Ride. So you can see here that it is
April 17th. And so it is our first one. And again, they offer a variety, majority of the rides obviously offer a variety of rides and lengths that you can go and different route options. So we really encourage people to take advantage of those different rides. The beautiful thing about this ride, right, is the springtime and the Redbuds. So that's what they're targeting at. And the reason why it's early, I know that there was some rain in previous years, but it still took place. And so it is still a beautiful ride to take. And we encourage people to check it out as it's our first one. It kicks off the cycling challenge.
Yeah, and the Redbud Ride is maybe a little more unique in some of these rides in that it really, once you get east of London, it's very rural, not a lot of car traffic, and just some beautiful scenery, and with a hill that they like to, for I guess the longer routes, there's a lot of talk about Tussey Hill. So you'll want to go to their site and check out those details.
And Jason Burton is the director of the ride, of the Redbud Ride. So we want to shout out to thanking him for his leadership in that ride. The Horsey Hundred is one maybe people know the most about. It is over a weekend of the May 28th through the 30th. And again, it's actually 2 days of riding. And so again, the Century's on a Saturday, and then there's a metric option on both Saturday and Sunday. It's an absolutely gorgeous ride. And I'm a member of the Bluegrass Cycling Club myself, and we are really proud that this is actually all run on volunteers and has always been run by volunteers by the club. And it takes over 200 volunteers actually to make it happen because it's such a large ride. But hope many of you signed up already, I guess, to participate this year.
So one question I have as it pertains to the challenge here is, because it is a 2-day ride, can a rider apply their mileage from both days, or do they have to pick a day, or how does that work?
They'd have to pick one ride.
So kind of their longest ride, I guess, that they do would apply. Sure. Okay.
Yeah, and the next ride, we have our Licking Valley Century Ride. And this is from, the ride director is Joe Braun, and he's been great working with this project and with this ride. And so we're excited to really go through Northern Kentucky here. Different rides, different opportunities. It's going to be another great ride. Hopefully June is still doable temperature ride, not too hot. But I think it'll be a perfect time to explore some different counties in Northern Kentucky. Yeah,
that's cool. I guess they were maybe new to the challenge last year. So this is definitely a ride on my radar. I'd love to get out and experience new areas of the state. And I think, anytime there's a new ride to the challenge, hopefully this will be a big boon for them. Cool to have a new ride in the mix.
Yeah, I'm super excited with you, Nathan, about this ride. That is definitely going to be a ride I'll make for sure. Joe really talked about how gorgeous that area of Kentucky is, and so few of us have been there to ride. Rock the Crater. This is a Middlesboro's ride last year that, again, I'm going to go back to because last year it rained on us. So we actually didn't make this ride, but we did go down for the overnight, and it's an absolutely gorgeous area. And Emery Minton is in charge of Rock the Crater. It has been another really amazing part of Kentucky that many of us don't get to, or certainly don't get to close enough. In fact, my friend and I actually hiked around the area at the same time. So come down to Middlesboro and make a weekend out of it. Absolutely beautiful with the historical Cumberland National Park right there. Great hiking and super gorgeous rides. Yeah.
So Cumberland Gap, of course, being an area where Daniel Boone actually came into Kentucky through that area, and it conjures images of mountains for me to think about that part of the state. And so I've actually been out, and I don't know if they'll have the same routes as last year or not, but certainly if you're looking for a challenge with some climbs, I was eyeballing their 59-mile route, and I assume their Century and maybe I don't so go out and look, but definitely some climbing to be had in that part of the state, and I assume also some really nice views along the way. Once you get on top of those hills, so good stuff.
All right, and our last one is the Limestone Cycling Tour. So they're ending the Kentucky Cycling Challenge for us. It's being hosted on September 11th in Maysville, and so they do have a patriotic theme for their ride. And I believe that this is the 13th year that this will happen for this ride. So this is a popular ride, and our ride director is Paula Rubel. So she's been really helpful in getting this ride set up, as well as helping us with the transition to Bike Walk Kentucky hosting the Kentucky Cycling Challenge. So big thanks to them. I have actually never rode in the Limestone Cycling Tour, and so I'm excited to venture out to Maysville and to take this ride on. So I'm excited to go to this one.
Speaking of hills, Nathan, there's some good hills in this ride too.
There is. Yeah, I did the metric century, a few years ago at the Limestone Cycling Tour, and I'll say, first of all, Maysville is very attractive downtown, right on the state line with your borders, with the Ohio River. So it's definitely a river town. They've got some cool murals and things on their flood wall. But yeah, you kind of go depending on which route you choose, I guess. You kind of go up and down from the river valley up to a ridge line, down to the back through a small river town, up to the but again, really, really pretty. They have a lot of cool sag stops, great ride. I'll just say that I plan to be there, hoping to have a booth there this year through a partnership with them. So come by and say hello if you actually make it out to the Limestone Cycling Tour. Really beautiful ride.
I did the Limestone ride last year, and another shout out to Paula is with COVID. This was last September. They did a really wonderful job, and I felt really safe. And so there's been a lot of the tour directors we've met several times now. She's been a good leader as well on helping all the ride directors regroup in order to keep it safe during the pandemic.
Yeah. And this ride has a really special history tied to a bit of a memorial for Paula's late son. So she and her husband have a very special involvement to this ride. And again, great part of the state. Paula's great. All right. Is there anything that I haven't asked you about already that you'd like to share with the Kentucky cycling audience?
We just hope you all will register tomorrow and get out and enjoy all these gorgeous rides. And then Natalie and I, if you have questions, you can reach out to us. We actually manage the social media site. And also there is a link to email on the website. If you have questions, feel free to contact us.
Well, Sharon and Natalie, I want to thank you again for being part of the Kentucky Cycling Connection series and tell us about the details of this year's Kentucky Cycling Challenge, and encourage folks to get out there and enjoy beautiful parts of road riding throughout the state.
Great. Thanks,
Nate. Thank you.
As always, we hope you found this content useful. If you did, please like the video and consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks.